Hey, what's going on, guys? Byron Nash here. Today, um, I wanted to do a special tribute to Dimebag Darrell. Yesterday was the 20th year anniversary of his untimely passing, along with a few other really key people that passed away in the club. And I've been seeing all the tributes and stuff like that, and it just got me thinking about like the impact he's had not only on my life as a musician, but like music in general. Like he changed how we play guitar. He changed how we heard metal. He changed the rock landscape. He did a lot of things, and it's still happening. Um, so today, I just wanted to like talk about it a little bit and how I got into it, and then showcase some of the Deans that I have that are his signature guitars. And yeah, hope you like it. So I first got introduced to Pantera by my buddy Eric Turner back in the day, and I used to live in Baltimore, and they came through with like Suicidal Tendencies and like Exodus at a place called Painter's Mill. And then after that, they came back through incredible club bar venue called Hammerjacks, and Hammerjacks was like this two-tier super rock and roll club. And I remember there was a band called Wrathchild who ended up having to change their name to Wrathchild America back then. They were from like the Virginia area, and they were pretty big. And Pantera came through, and it was right before, it's kind of like before Vulgar Display came out, because they played a bunch of songs off of that. And I remember being like, this is like the metal band. This is like, they're doing something nobody's doing. And then there was a moment where, Dime was playing a solo, and I was just kind of watching him like in awe. And I really, I'm a super metalhead. I love my thrash, love all the shredders and all that stuff. But he had something different. He was tasteful. He had blues. He had riffs for days. He had groove. And it was kind of at that time when metal was starting to stiffen out a little bit, and everybody was kind of like regurgitating each other's riffs in a way, you know. But something about Pantera was just a little bit different. And then once Vulgar came out, it was over. Like nobody was touching them. And for me, at the time in my life, just like a lot of fans, I think the energy on that album and just the way it sounded and the production and everything about it really resonated if you were like a troubled teen going through some stuff. Um, but I just always loved this playing, and that never went away. I got to interview him once or twice. I got to interview Phil, got to interview Vinnie Paul, got to meet them in like '97. And I've seen them a whole bunch of times, got to shoot photos and stuff. And it's just one of my favorite metal bands, but he's definitely like my numero uno guitar player. I think it's like him and Randy Rhoads and like Gary Holt's up there and Steve Ray Vaughan, Prince. Like it's just this kind of wild, or Vernon Reed, Living Color. But Dime's just sort of the one that gives me all the emotions of everything. I get the anger, I get the shred, I get the riff, I get the blues, I get the crazy exciting whammy squeals and unorthodox lines and things like that. So I just wanted to kind of give a little tribute to him and thank him, thank Pantera, thank Zach Wylde for stepping in and doing what's nearly impossible. No one's ever going to replace Dime, but if there's anybody who should be playing in Pantera right now, it would be Zach. So I'm going to start with this guitar. Um, Back in the day, I used to work at a magazine called Rock and Roll Reporter. My boss and buddy Ed, his younger son, Lil Ed Jr., we would go to concerts and all this stuff. We had all this access, and we were media guys, basically, like fans who just happened to write articles and stuff. And when Black Label was here, I think they were at Graffiti a long time ago. Eddie got to meet Zach, and this was a guitar that was like the beater guitar on the tour bus. It's a cheaper Dean ML body, had the whole like big Zach Wylde chain and all that stuff. Eddie kept that. And then, I don't know, 20 years later or so, he hit me up and he goes out, do you want to buy this guitar? I know you'll take care of it. So this is the actual Zach Wylde owned Dean ML that was just kind of the tour bus beater to get the hands together, which is rad. This one, you guys have probably seen this. Obviously, it's like a bolt-on neck, cheaper model, but I didn't care. The fact that it had the album cover of Cowboys on here, which is really cool. Still a cool guitar, still plays well. But this is more of a piece of art that I plan on having hanging on the wall in my studio when I have a bigger house and more space for it. Now, this guitar is not a dime, but think about his impact in the sense that he's the only person I think of when I see this shape. So it doesn't matter if this was an actual dime model or not. It's definitely a Dean. It's legit. It's actually kind of heavy, and it's neck through, full body. Has this kind of fast jazz neck. No whammy or anything like that, but this guitar rocks. I love this sort of velvety, reminds me of like carving guitars, if you guys are familiar. Like high-end guitars, they always had that really nice kind of wood paint job. And then over here, this was from when he was with Washburn. Kind of went back and forth. Dean was out of business. He was winning the guitar competitions and then couldn't compete anymore because he won so many years in a row. Kind of made Dean guitars and MLs really popular in the 90s. Then it was Washburn. Then it was back to Dean. It's kind of like a toggling back and forth. But I've always thought this guitar was just super sexy, sleek, mean though. Like this looks like an axe. Like you could literally hurt somebody with this thing. I used to play this guitar a lot with my old band Formula 412, and it still rocks, and I'll never ever get rid of it. So everyone loves this guitar. I think as well, like we know about the Razorback. I mean, this is probably one of his. This is when he was doing the Dean thing, and this was a big splurge for me. I never really spent that much on guitars. I always got them used and a little cheaper. But I saw this and I was like, I kind of have to have that guitar. Put it on layaway. And used to rock this with Formula 412 as well. This thing, I mean, high gain. You really have to like control it or it's going to control you. Like it's a blazing guitar. One of my favorites. I don't take it out of the house very often, but just because I only have one of them and I want to take care of it. So, but everybody knows the Razorback is the sickest. Now, this isn't, again, I don't even remember where I got this. I got this used somewhere. I think maybe Hollywood Music. This isn't a dime, but it's a Dean ML. And this guitar is so badass. It's called the Warbird. I haven't really seen it. So it has this like old school like World War II paint job on it. The clean tone, superb, like kind of like a jazzy soul tone. But like when you crank that distortion on this bad boy, it super shreds. So, and this is sort of my collection as far as like my Dean and Dimebag Darrell shaped, inspired guitars. So, I just wanted to say rest in peace to him and, send good energy out to all the Pantera fans and Rita and Pantera. And thank you for the years of inspiration. And you gave me all the reason in the world to keep on rocking and go against the grain and keep shredding it up. So we miss you and thank you for the music. Peace.